Hang on. G'day, it's Bill here from Sidereal Trading. A couple of weeks ago we had a video of this Lunatico Limpet focuser motor working on this focuser here, and we thought we'd show you how it's done. The great thing about having a motorised focuser on your Dobsonian is that you never have to touch the scope, which means you're never going to be moving it around while you're focusing. So you're never going to lose the planet that you're on. It's particularly bad for planetary work because you're on maximum magnification. And you just touch the scope even slightly, and the planet just goes all over the place. And so it's really difficult to have. For astrophotography, the great thing about something like this is it gives you that extra amount of accuracy with the focusing, meaning you're going to have better focus. With last week's video, we had this working from my phone, and that's probably how you do it for visual work. For astrophotography, you'd probably cable it into your computer. It was really easy to do, but I didn't show you how to put it together, so that's what I'm going to do now. Right, this is what you're going to need for the focuser. First of all, you need the white box. That's the motor, the controller, some cables and stuff. You're also going to need to have the Crayford adapter. That's this little black guy, and it goes on underneath there. You're also going to need some tools, Allen key and screwdriver and stuff. You're also going to need your phone, and you're going to be using that to rotate the axle on the motor so that you can get at the flat facet. Okay, the first thing you need to do is connect the DB9 cable, that's this guy, from the motor to the limpet. So that just goes in like that. You always get it around the wrong way, don't you? And then the second time you also get it around the wrong way. There you go. And that's that guy. Hopefully you'll be able to see the spindle there. Some power, that goes into there. Spin that up. I've got some 12 volts down here. That goes in there. Hopefully that should be all visible. What you do now is test your system by going into here and going to settings, and you have to hook up your Wi-Fi to the limpet, which is there. In this case it's limpet 10079. That is connected up. Right, once we've got all that together, go to your phone and go to limpet.es, and it comes up with this little guy. I'll see if I can put that into the video. Now you go to, let's see if I can do this, go to control, and you should be able to see some fairly small numbers there. And now there's one of them is fast and slow. I don't know if you can see that on the video. However, the facet is moving around like this. Now, what you have to do is for a spot in the next little while, you have to organise it so that the facet is pointing to the top end of this thing roughly. So I'm just going to leave it like that. We've tested it and it works. So let's dismantle it and put it back together in a second. Okay, first thing we need to do is remove the coarse focusing knob using the Allen key. So let's probably have to fast forward this a little bit, but that comes off reasonably easily. I'll just put that off to one side. The next thing we do is remove the two adjusting bolts from the Crayford. The one at the back is the longer one. Next thing we do is remove the Phillips head screw from the focuser. We'll be putting that back later on. Actually, we'll be putting a slightly longer version back later on. Pretty simple. See if I can not drop it. That's okay for the moment. Now let's just do a little bit of work on the motor. We need to attach this guy to there. Now it actually sits on like that because it's going to be bolted like this. So, but first we need to remove one of these. We need to remove that screw down to there, and we're going to be putting in 2 additional screws there and there that go through the holes in there. There we go. Now, if you haven't moved the spindle so that it is opposite the DB9 end, it's probably a good idea to do it now. All right, the next thing we need to do is attach the adapter to the motor using, let's see, these. No, it goes on like that. So it's got to use the top 2 holes, that one and that one, using these Allen head screws. So that goes on like that. Okay, there we go. That's on nicely like that. Next thing we need to do is get the bush onto the focuser axle. There's the focuser axle, and the bush is this little guy here. Now you'll notice that, let's see, that's the right Allen key. That goes onto there, goes nicely down there. It's probably about as far as it goes. Now you don't do up the grubs yet, but leave that pointing downwards because there's a little slot there which we're going to be reaching through to do up the grubs. Now we just slide it on. That just goes onto there. There. Like that. Okay. Next thing we do is replace the bottom screw with the one which has been provided. It's slightly longer so it can take the adapter. That goes in there, I think. Might take a little bit of jiggling to get it in and out. Straight in. There we go. Next you get the longer of the 2 screws, that's this one, and you put it back into the adjustment area. That's that one. There we go, leave it reasonably loose, just touching. Next thing we do is do up the grubs. Okay. We've got our controller, put the power into the controller and attach that to the limpet, the motor. There we go. That can just sit there. Presumably you'll be attaching it somewhere. The limpet's got a nifty little bolt that goes straight through the middle, so it can go anywhere on your telescope. Go back to the phone. And there we go. And we're working. Simple as that. So there you go. I really love it that it's completely bare bones and really, really simple. It's pretty much perfect for visual work. You just use it like a focus knob. If you're using a DSLR and a Bardenoff mask, that's pretty much all the focusing you're ever going to need. For photography, you're going to want to connect it to your computer. There's the cable here, that's a standard printer cable. It goes from there to your computer. There are Indie drivers and ASCOM and all that stuff that you require. I haven't done that myself, I've just used it for visual work. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now, the Sidereal Trading channel is pretty new, so like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that normal stuff. We do a lot more than just sell gadgets here, and we'll be getting into that in the future. The more videos we do, the more Diego and Paul are going to let me to play with some, cool stuff. So bring it on. Yeah, that'll do.